And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the World Table Tennis Championships 2013. It is the 7th day of the competition, the penultimate day, and we're seeing the final match of today's TV broadcasting. It is indeed the men's singles semi-finals match, and it is China versus China. The world-ranked #2 Ma Long on the left here, and he's facing his compatriot Wang Hao, the world-ranked #3 player. First spot in the finals has already been decided. Earlier today we saw Xu Xian losing to the reigning world champion Zhang Jike from China, who is now awaiting one of these two players here. And which one it will be is the question that will be answered by this match here. I'm very much looking forward to this. My name is Sebastian Hahn, and I'm proud to welcome once again Don Parker sitting next to me. Don, welcome to this match here.
Thanks very much, Sebastian. Like you, this is going to be a mouth-watering encounter. Two of the top players, undoubtedly, in the world. I'm going to edge my bets, and I think this gentleman here on screen, Ma Long, will come through. But of course, how can you say that when he's playing a former world champion, a guy who's been in the final of the Olympics 3 times? It's going to be absolutely explosive table tennis of the highest order. And incidentally, Sebastian, you didn't give me your tip either, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Who are you going for?
Once again, well, I do favor Wang Hao in this one, I have to say. He played such an dominating match against Yan An, a player who's very much quicker than Wang Hao himself. The same can be said for Ma Long here, by the way. But Wang Hao played it cool, played it safe, and he did do quite a few tricks here, quite a few adjustments tactically. His experience as a 29-year-old player, and you've said it, Don, he's been in the Olympics final 3 times since 2004. He's been the world champion in 2009. He's won the World Cup 3 times, Wang Hao. He's been around on these big stages here, and he knows all the tricks, and he knows his opponent very well now. Ma Long, I think you can say this, since January 2012, very much on fire, if you will. Had a streak where he won more than 50 matches in a row. He was unstoppable for a while there. And he's like a steam engine, this man, Ma Long. Once he gets going, it'll be very hard to stop him. So Wang Hao will have to look into ways here to prevent that from happening, to establish himself in the rally. And don't let Ma Long get the first topspin in.
The players will, of course, just have a 2-minute practice just to get their shots into the groove. Ma Long there. I totally endorse everything you said, Sebastian. I just think the power, both sides. Ma Long that little bit younger as well. Ma Long still to score on the big stage. You're quite right. He totally dominated the world of table tennis for a period of time, but he still hasn't got one of the big titles. For me, there are 2 big titles, Olympic champion, world champion. Ma Long to put his marker down as a truly, truly great player needs to win one of those 2. Maybe Paris is going to be his tournament. Wang Hao, 3 times finalist, we've said that a couple of times. He was in the final 1 year ago, 2 years ago, in Rotterdam, lost to Zhang Jike. So the stage is set for Ma Long now to put all that talent that he has and put a marker down on one of the big trophies.
And if we were to talk about winning streaks like the one with Ma Long in the past, we also have to comment on, and this is my favorite statistics about Wang Hao. He's been the #1 in the world from October 2007 to January 2009. So well over a year on the top, and he was considered unbeatable in professional table tennis.
And the shot that you can see on screen there, the reverse backhand topspin, he's probably the finest in the world at that. He developed it. The penhold grip players traditionally were weaker on the backhand side. They only used one side of the bat. And then all of a sudden this generation of players, penhold grip players, led by Wang Hao, developed this reverse backhand technique. And as you say, he was unstoppable, he was unbeatable. I'm just thinking, 29 years of age, he's up against somebody quite a few years younger than himself. It could just be a turning point now, where Ma Long just starts to overtake Wang Hao. But you're quite right, what a player Wang Hao, and I feel almost I'm being out of order tipping against such a great player as Wang Hao. But I have to go with my head. I could be completely wrong.
First game,
but I'll stick with my tip. Ma Long in a very, very close fought semi-final.
1-love.
This game, of course, like all games in the World Championships, a best-of-7 match. So a little time here to adjust to the tactics of the opponent for each player.
1-all.
Just looking at the brackets here, Ma Long earlier today won 4-2 against Timo Boll. That was already quite a hard match for him. I wonder if that may have taken a toll on him physically.
2-1.
He won against Koki Niwa in the round before that, 4-2 as well. Also good fight the young Japanese player put up in that match. And as a rematch of the World Championships 2011. In the first round, Ma Long beat Bojan Tokic from Slovenia 4-0 this time. And on the other side of the bracket, Wang Hao 4-2 against Jan Ahn, the match I commented on earlier today. Also a good fight, very tactically tight match, that one. 4-1 for him against Gao Ning. And in the first round, Wang Hao beat Noshat Alamian from Iran 4-1.
Must be a great feeling for Liu Guliang. We just saw him there, sat in the crowd to watch
3-all.
two of your players. You've done your job, you sit there and you've got 4 semi-finalists. Gold, silver and bronze, all guaranteed. What a wonderful job Liu Guliang has done as the head coach of the Chinese men. But of course, with this being all China, as we explained earlier, no coaches involved. We'll let the players get on. Adrien Matinet, the French #1 player here. He had an okay tournament, Sebastian, but I think he'd have been looking to do a little bit better.
Absolutely, was thrown out in the round of 32, if I remember correctly. Did play a good tournament, but quite some shaky results for him in the matches before that. And you've said it. Liu Guliang did a fine job, and he had quite a hard day's work behind him here. Was coaching in all of the 4 men's quarterfinals match, and all of his players made it through. We always come back to comparing this event with the World Championships 10 years ago, 2003, in this very venue here in Paris. And I believe in the men's singles at the semi-final stage, it was no Chinese player present in the tournament. And we see completely different pictures here, as in this tournament, semi-final stage, all Chinese participants.
5-all.
So we said it was going to be close. I know it's early days, but it's 5 points each.
Oh, wow, fantastic read on the situation by Wang Hao. You've said it, Don, the reverse penhold backhand. He's internalized it so much. He included it in his game so seamlessly. From the looking of it, he doesn't seem like a penhold player. So smooth his movement on the backhand. He doesn't even do the classic penhold backhand. He always does the reverse topspin. No need for him in thinking about what do I do next. It is all automatically, all seamlessly included. And so is the backhand serve receive from the forehand side which is coming more and more into fashion in professional table tennis. Almost since last year, I would say the general rule of receiving a serve is with your backhand.
8-5.
Certainly been one of the major innovations in the modern game. If you returned a short serve to your forehand with your backhand 20 years ago, you'd be told off by the coach. But now it's become, as you say, Sebastian, the preferred technique to come round, to use the wrist, to get that curving action to generate side spin and then either a little bit of backspin or top spin. Some of the players are referring to it as the banana return because of the path that the bat follows when it makes the shot. I think we should come up with a better name than that, but we can work on that after these championships. 8-6 now, Wang Hao in the lead.
I mean, the banana is quite established among the players as well. There also is the violin. That is when you do that backhand flick with a little bit of downspin, backspin on the ball. You play the violin. All sorts of technical terms you learn from commentating with Richard Brause.
Great return again from Wang Hao. Wonderful touch. Just delicately returned that ball. The second bounce was on or around the baseline. That makes it very difficult for the server to know whether he can play a strong topspin or whether he has to play over the table. And so Wang Hao, 3 game points.
And it all comes down to tactics with these two. They know each other so well. They've been practicing for well over 4 years together.
Just overhit the reverse backhand topspin, or he probably more accurate to say he went for too wide an angle, the ball going off the side of the table. So that's 1 game point saved. 2 remain. There he is, just going for that angle out wide to Marlong's backhand. Hit it off the side.
2 game points remaining for the world champion of 2009.
Play by both players. Wonderful counter top spins. Marlong, of course, if you had to say his strength, he's just so strong backhand and forehand when he's away from the table. Just look how he throws his body into those top spins.
He swings so well from both sides. You're absolutely right. Has the fast legs to be positioned correctly for each of these top spins. Almost brings all the time 1 top spin more back to the table than you expect him to. But this time it was not enough, at least not in the first game. Wang Hao uses his 3rd game point, scores the first game for him 11-9. The score is now 1-0. Well, back at the table, back at the center court in the Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy at the World Championships men's singles semi-finals match before our eyes here, in which Wang Hao is leading 1-0 over his compatriot Marlong. And a tactic most likely employed by both these players is to build up the rally over the backhand of your opponent, especially against Wang Hao's backhand in the distance. He's very strong over the table with his backhand, but in the distance he tends to lose a bit of reach. Tends to be a bit sloppy with his footwork at times even.
Very interesting serve, very clever serve there, the long chop serve. Ma Long was leaning over the table, hadn't got time to get back and play the topspin, so he had to push a long serve. Good tactics from Wang Hao. And Wang Hao again, as you said, Sebastian, very quick with that backhand over the table. So the senior pro, Wang Hao, out of the blocks the quickest in this second game, 3-1.
2-3.
Didn't quite read the spin, Wang Hao there, came underneath the ball there, and he just pops up a little bit. And Ma Long going out wide to the forehand. Could have gone anywhere with that one. That was the problem. Wang Hao wasn't sure where he was going to topspin to.
3-0.
Excellent, we've seen this in the match. Timo Boll versus Ma Long. Whenever Ma Long is sure about the receive, going deep into his backhand, he steps around and plays forehands on it. Not only going cross-court, but also for a very wide angle. Good serve variation from Wang Hao. He did not quite expect the receive to be as long as it was. He's unsure of whether to play backhand or forehand on that. That cost him some valuable decision time.
Trickled over the net. Sometimes they go your way, sometimes they don't. I think at the end of most matches, luck evens itself out. But certainly on that occasion, Ma Long slightly fortunate.
6-3.
Good start this time for the world-ranked #2. Liu Liang said about him, he has become very much more of a complete player, Ma Long, in the last years, but they still do not trust him in these tight, big situations as in the World Championships. He did lose in the Team Championships 2010 in the finals match. Did lose one crucial game against Timo Boll of Germany. And since then he's always struggled in these tight situations. He still feels the need to prove himself worthy. And this may all be still present in the back of his head here. It is, after all, the World Championships. It is the semi-finals.
And he certainly hesitated on the return of service there, misread the spin, the ball popped up. And that was a relatively straightforward topspin for Wang Hao. Oh, the reverse backhand straight down the line. Fascinating what you say there, Sebastian. I think Ma Long just needs his name on one of those big trophies, the Olympics, the Worlds, then he'll feel an equal possibly to the likes of Wang Hao, Zhang Jike. People were debating who's the stronger player, Ma Long, Zhang Jike. Then Zhang Jike wins the Worlds, then he wins the Olympics, and now of course Zhang Jike's into the final again. This time Ma Long just not quite delivering on the big occasion. So this is a golden opportunity for him.
And you hear this discussion quite a lot. Is it Ma Long? Is it Zhang Jike? And whenever the argument comes up that Zhang Jike won all these 3 big titles, as you say, do have to keep in mind that in all of these tournaments he did not play Ma Long. Just looking up here, the statistics, the head-to-head between these two, slightly favoring Wang Hao. 11-9, although Ma Long did win the last 3 encounters.
8-6.
But once again, this is the World Championships, a tournament that has very much its own rules. Statistics and head-to-head account for little here. 8-6, the veteran player Wang Hao still up in the lead.
And that was a poor return of service. He just pushed the ball mid-table. Just look at that, popped up in the air. Clearly didn't read the spin, or if he did, his confidence has gone and he just popped the ball in the air. And I think now Wang Hao's won 5-6 of the last 7 points. And wow, Wang Hao dominating this match so far.
Absolutely. 4 game points now once again to him to build on that 1-0 lead here. Will be feeling much more relaxed with a 2-0 behind his back. Needs just to score in the next 4 points.
7-10.
We have backhand against backhand. That is the safe decision for both these players, especially Wang Hao, for even having the hardest forehand topspin in the world, arguably. Still a bit backhand-oriented player.
And that reverse backhand topspin. Wang Hao's looking good, Sebastian.
Absolutely took that one with force. 11-7 the score. He's now up against Ma Long 2 games to 0.
Third game, Wang to serve.
Third game commencing. Wang Hao firmly in the lead. He won the first 2 games of this best-of-7 match. He now be looking to put even more pressure onto Ma Long. And we will see how he continues to deal with that. And that is a serve he's done against Yan An a number of times here. The long serve onto the body leaves very little time to react. It can backfire badly when the player is prepared for that. But just to throw Ma Long off at this situation, to make him feel even more tense, even less relaxed and comfortable.
1 love. Love 2.
Wang Hao on fire. There's not a bad return from Ma Long. There's that flick. But look at Wang Hao, he's across. And the Ma Long counter topspin catches the top edge of the racket. And there it goes, up in the lights.
What a quick reaction too. Good thinking on his feet. Wang Hao immediately noticed Ma Long stepping to the side to play the next one from the backhand side with forehand. And at the last second chose to put that back ever so gently on the parallel.
Let.
He really is the master tactician, I have to say. Especially thinking about that quarterfinals match once again against Yan An, who in all physical regards of this game was superior to Wang Hao. Yet Wang Hao always found the right tactics. Adjusted very quickly to what Yan An was throwing at him. And in terms of playing styles, Yan An not that different from Ma Long, really.
It's amazing. Wang Hao takes the first 4 points. I don't know, I think the issue here could be a psychological one. I remember watching Ma Long over the last 3 years, where this carefree youngster was just like a power machine, backhands, forehands, powerful, spraying the ball around the table. Just seems to be a little bit hesitant here for me, as though, I think your analysis, Sebastian, and your reference to the fact it is the World Championships, it is pressure. He's desperate to put a marker down. He's won all these World Tour events, World Cup, etc., etc., but he's not got one of the big ones, and I think that's affecting him. This is possibly the weakest performance I've seen from Ma Long, and certainly my tip at the beginning of this semi-final, I'd now be laying that double quick. because Wang Hao is clearly on top. It could twist and turn again, but at the moment it's one-way traffic, and that's Wang Hao's way.
Very well said. Is indeed what we're seeing here in this third game as well. 4-1. Wang Hao, he means business in this match. The game against T-Mobile earlier today may have exhausted Ma Long a bit. Had to fight for his life in that match. Was fought very much on even terms. And now maybe a little bit of energy, a little bit of freshness, if you will, missing here in his game. As you say, Don, not the best performance so far by Ma Long. Seems a bit late to everything, a little bit less power than we're used to from him.
The return of serve on that last point from Wang Hao was amazing. It was a long serve and he pushed it short. That's the confidence of the man at the moment. And Ma Long really struggling. That's bread and butter for this player normally.
We can see the wrist action from that lifting shot from Wang Hao, excuse me. Was quite a bit of side spin on that as well. Ma Long did not read that correctly.
8-1.
Fascinating stuff.
And this is also quite uncharacteristic for Ma Long to just keep standing there, his legs planted on the ground, not moving, not stepping around to play a fine topspin. And this is all just easy prey for Wang Hao.
And you can see that determined clench of the fist. The steely approach by Wang Hao. He knows he cannot take the pressure off because this game can turn in the blink of an eye.
2-9.
Wang Hao has to finish this game and then get off to a good start, and he'll want to nail Ma Long. He's down, he's the #2 ranked player in the world, and Wang Hao want to keep him there. It's a ruthless business, professional sport at the highest level. And you can be the best of mates when you walk off court, but at this point in time it's no compromise.
Absolutely, now amounting even to 8 game points in this third game for Wang Hao. I'm sure one of them will be used.
10-3.
And then we're off to a 3-0 for Wang Hao, and things cannot get more difficult for the young player Ma Long, who is now indeed down 3-0 as Wang Hao wins this third game 11-3. Fourth game is commencing, and when things go the way that Wang Hao wants them to go, it is the last game for this match. I'm sure Ma Long will have something to say about that. He has to start a comeback. He has to start it now.
It's an interesting position psychologically here. Wang Hao, everyone now is thinking he's going to walk away with this. The danger is that he just takes the pressure off, albeit at an unconscious level, a fraction. Ma Long thinks that I have nothing to lose here. I'm going to go for my shot. So there is that little bit of a psychological seesaw that could go either way. I must say, it's going to stop. To stop Wang Hao now is going to be incredibly difficult, but there's a little bit of an opportunity for Ma Long.
Absolutely, and we tend to see this in best of 5 games at 2-0, and indeed in best of 7 games at 3-0, that, as you say, the leading player just ever so slightly steps off the gas, loosens his grip, if you will, of the match. By the way, not so Zhang Jike. He's one of the few players to keep the pressure on no matter the score. Just to maybe a little bit foreshadow that finals game tomorrow. It is more and more likely that Zhang Jike will be facing Wang Hao.
Which was, of course, the final 2 years ago in Rotterdam, a repeat of the final. Zhang Jike, certainly a wonderful player on the big stage. Perhaps not Mr. Consistency on the World Tour, but he's certainly the big-time player. Going back in my career, there was a guy called Isvan Yonya, world champion, could lose during the week, but put him in the World Championships, he was dynamite. Jan-Ove Waldner, possibly the greatest player ever, could lose in European League matches, team events, but put him in the Olympics, put him in the World Championships, you would not back against him. And Zhang Jike of the same mould.
We can see on the body language of Wang Hao that he knows the importance of this game here. He knows he cannot allow Ma Long to start a comeback, to make him feel a bit comfortable, to make him start believing in his ability to win this match, to turn it around. Needs to keep his foot on this match, his foothold, if you will. And in this second, Ma Long has equalized.
Jean-Philippe Gatien, world champion in 1993, representing France, of course, commentating no doubt for French TV.
Once more, the placement into the body of Ma Long, forcing him to step around, and with that bit of hesitance that he has shown, he's a bit late. And that was an important point for him. Confidence building, no doubt. This time the stepping around did pay off.
And full marks to Ma Long. There's certainly a spring in his step. And he's fighting all the way.
That was crucial to him. 2-point lead always makes you relax a bit. And when we're talking about consistency, I mean, Wang Hao in the past has had quite the same issues. He's been losing quite a few matches here and there, especially after becoming world champion in 2009. Had to struggle to keep his position in the A team of the Chinese national team.
Ma Long with his second serve in this sequence. And that was great short play by Ma Long.
It was a bold attempt by Wang Hao too. There was so much spin on that top spin that is very difficult to find the right angle on your racket to play a fast top spin on that. Look at that ball, almost not bouncing, just skidding over the table, jumping forward.
And Ma Long now getting into a little bit of a rhythm with those forehand topspins. He's now got his nose in front, a 3-point lead.
Game points. It's 10-6. 4 opportunities for Ma Long to close the gap a bit.
Ma Long will want to finish it this time if he can, otherwise he has to face the Wang Hao serve. So second serve coming up.
Let 10-7.
And that worked out perfectly down that long serve. Wang Hao almost misjudged that. Didn't think there was the bounce at all on the table. That means now 11-7. Wang Hao, though, still firmly in the lead by 3 games to 1 over Ma Long from China.
Fifth game.
We're looking for the opponent of Jiang Jike in the World Championship 2013 in the finals match. Will it be Ma Long or will it be Wang Hao from China? So far, Wang Hao has established himself quite well, went up with a 3-0 lead. Very one-sided affair, the whole thing here so far. But Ma Long in the last game has finally found his way into this match, managed to win it, and will no doubt be looking to win the next 3 matches. Excuse me, the next 3 games, of course, as well.
A glimmer of hope for Ma Long. The momentum changed in that 4th game. He's now in the ascendancy, but he has to come out in this 5th game and carry on where he left off in the 4th. Of course, Wang Hao will be doing everything he can to re-establish his supremacy, which was so clearly displayed in the first 3 games. But you see, that's a lot more confident from Ma Long now. He's got a game under his belt. It's not been a whitewash.
Wang Hao now being forced away from the table too, and that is not something that he does freely.
Not sure if he was slightly fortunate with that backhand, reverse backhand topspin. If he meant it, what a wonderful shot. This is the one. Look at that. Looks as though he did mean it. Is there an apology? No? Fantastic play.
Absolutely. Succession of topspins, even nodding here. Adrien Matenay can appreciate this, as do the spectators in the Bercy Arena. Topspin versus topspin, and these kind of steep angles that Wang Hao is playing Ma Long can bring back, and that is exactly the Ma Long we've seen against Timo Boll. Somehow, some way, just another of these topspin shots comes back to the table. But what about this? An appearance here of the fastest forehand topspin in the world. Wang Hao can step up his game to such amazing speeds. We see that in slow motion, putting his whole weight into the forehand topspin. Remarkable.
Great play by Wang Hao. That was a super forehand topspin. Even put a little bit of side spin on it as well to take it out wide to the Ma Long forehand. There it goes. Ma Long was gambling. He was coming round the backhand, hoping the ball would come there so he could play his forehand from the backhand side. But a very astute Wang Hao spotted that, put the ball into the open space. Not happy with the bounce there, Wang Hao, just saying it jumped up a little bit at him.
Liu Guoyang watching both of his top players. Till the second of these Wang Hao topspin, not that well placed here. They placed it in exactly the same position, Ma Long. Quite the time to adjust, to step around, to play the forehand.
Halfway stage of the fifth game, 5 points each. Probably a fair reflection of the play so far. But of course this is do or die for Ma Long. He has to win the remaining 3 games. Wang Hao, on the other hand, just has to take one of them.
Always good for table tennis fans everywhere to see Wang Hao performing at his peak level. Once again, that lightning fast forehand topspin. In terms of speed, maybe the hardest topspin in the world. If we just take the speed of the ball into consideration, of the time the opponent has to react.
6-all.
Rhythmic clapping. Eight-6 to Ma Long. Closing the gap even further here. 2-point lead is all he needs at the end of this game. Needs to carry that out to 11.
And so this semi-final twists and turns. Ma Long looking good for 3-2. Can he just keep it going for another couple of points? What a great return of serve there. Perfect. Second bounce just on the baseline. But you could see the commitment from Ma Long. He knew he had to get in. There he goes. And you can just see the ball perfect. Bounces on the edge of the table, the second bounce. If it had been 2 inches longer, Ma Long would have been in with the topspin. Super return. A little bit of a lifeline now for Wang Hao. Oh, and he takes it with a super forehand topspin. Excellent play. And talking about twists and turns, here we go again.
It is 3-1. Still haven't seen a timeout from any of these players here. Might be the opportunity for Ma Long here to stop the goal of Wang Hao. Very confident that Ma Long can score again, yet now at 9-8.
What a point!
Wow, what a rocket fast shot. Ma Long was so lucky that ball caught the edge of the net, but Wang Hao still managed to play a fantastic fine topspin on this. I am absolutely astonished by this persistence here, by this precision and power from Wang Hao. Wow.
9 points each. And now we're seeing table tennis of the highest order. There was even a net cord in there that Wang Hao adapted to and returned equally as strong as any of his other top spins. So Ma Long now with the advantage of serve. But remember, Wang Hao's done some excellent returns. So this fifth game I should say, it's 3-1 of course, fifth game evenly poised.
Once again, it is that steep angle into the Ma Long back forehand, excuse me. We do not expect him to return a topspin on that. Even with the hook here, managed to accelerate and put some side spin on there as well. He's so fast in moving towards his forehand side. Game point to the world ranked #2, Ma Long.
Hey, come on, please.
And there's some flash photography coming out of the crowd. And Ma Long just... Sorry, actually, it was Wang Hao. It was just making the point to the umpire. Everyone anxious to take pictures of this fantastic game. In this fantastic venue. At this most exciting point in time. 10 points each. And the situation for Ma Long, very simple. He has to win 2 clear points. Because if he doesn't, he's out of the World Championships here in Paris.
The semi-finals, that automatically means you place 3rd in the competition. That is, of course, not what any of these 2 players here will be looking for. Indeed, it is match point Wang Hao. He clenches his fist. He knows this is important to stop Ma Long from ever starting his run here. Such a tense situation. That did not miss by that much. It was the right idea from Wang Hao to play that backhand receive wide out to the forehand of Ma Long. Did mistime that a bit, it seems.
Just caught the top of the net. Interesting again, under pressure, coming across, returning the short serve to the forehand with the backhand. Caught the top of the net off the end of the table. 11 points each.
Marlon, he's giving it everything at the moment. He's fighting for his life in this tournament.
It's a great return of serve by Marlon in that rally. Comes in with an open racket and then suddenly closes it. Probably the world's best at that technique, but now he has game point.
This time, Wang Hao absolutely up to the challenge posted by the short push from Marlon. Did bounce just a fraction too high, and this is the hallmark of any great player. Wang Hao, of course, was right there on the timing, was waiting for that, pounced on that, if you will. 12 points each. 2 clear points for any of these players. Will either win the match for Wang Hao or take this into a 6th game for Marlon. Look at Wang Hao, he's starting to complain now. Can feel the tension in this match.
Marlon, play.
He's done it. Marlon takes the 5th game, 14-12. It could be close, Sebastian.
It absolutely could. He's starting quite a run here, the young player from China. Marlon wins this game indeed, 14-12. He closes the gap against Wang Hao to 2 games to 3.
Six games. Net the third, Lauderdale 4.
World Championships 2013 in Paris. Marlon pulls this game into a 6th game, and that is such a relief for all table tennis fans who are very much enjoying this wonderful match here and no doubt want to see it continue to infinity if possible. But we will, over the next 2 games here, find a winner between Wang Hao and Marlon and a contender for the finals of the World Championships against Jiang Jike.
Fantastic rally. Wang Hao, first point got out wide to Marlon's forehand. I think that's a tactic he's going to have to use quite a bit. Marlon, of course, looking always to get the forehand in from the backhand side. Got to get out wide to his forehand to keep him guessing.
2-1.
Pinning him down the backhand on that occasion. start that Wang Hao needed.
Ma Long should take a timeout now, I think. Seems quite confident that he can still turn this match around even without the device of a timeout to interrupt the game flow, interrupt the momentum that Wang Hao no doubt has been building here at 3-1. Both players still have timeout available. Once again, in the slow motion study of Wang Hao, look for him at his forehand topspin, where he such a nice technique to pull his shoulder against the ball, turn it into the shot, his whole weight of the upper body, really. That is why he has indeed such a powerful forehand topspin.
Strong backhand from Ma Long on the diagonal. And Ma Long hanging on in there. Remember, after he lost the third game 11-3, if it had been a boxing match, you'd have been thinking about throwing in the white towel. But I'm delighted for Ma Long. He came back, he showed a lot of character, won the fourth game 11-7, hung on and won the fifth game 14-12. And he's certainly now put in a very respectable performance, but if he's not careful, a few more points and this will be out of his reach. And I agree with you, Sebastian, that timeout may be very useful.
I think at this point, well, let's wait for the next 2 points, but after that I have the feeling this may already be too late to stop Wang Hao. He's now 4 points ahead.
Good variation from Wang Hao. He threw that up. Not as much speed or spin on it.
Once more, we see a very clever play from Wang Hao. Very good strategist he's become.
Keep aside, 2-6 left.
Claims there was a lead serve. Caught the net, apparently. Ma Long does agree on that. Serve is being repeated.
Interesting to see what happens here.
Wu Jinping, head coach for the Chinese penhold players.
2-7.
Sort of a mentor for Wang Hao.
And the end now looking inevitable. A few errors. The let serve, I think, upset Ma Long. I think he was pretty sure that ball didn't catch the top of the net, but the umpire was adamant. Of course, the umpire's decision is final. And the first thing you teach the players is you do play by the umpire, but 9-2. It looks as though we're in for a repeat of the men's singles final from Rotterdam 2011. 8 game points. The end is nigh.
First one averted, but still a tall mountain to climb for Ma Long to somehow come back into this. Really did find his rhythm quite late in the match, was down 3-0. And that is something against a player of the caliber of Wang Hao you cannot come back from. And in this moment, it is indeed Wang Hao that wins this game. 11-3, 4-2 is the final score of this men's singles semi-finals match in the World Championships 2013. What a day of table tennis we've seen at this 7th day of the competition in Paris, France. All that is left to do tomorrow is to enjoy the finals match of the women's doubles and the men's singles. And Wang Hao has a good chance of making up for that lost final in 2011, where he lost against Zhang Jike. Will have the opportunity to win against him tomorrow. Has been a great tournament so far, an excellent experience for everyone involved. For the venue is absolutely perfect for such an event. Great, spectacular table tennis throughout this week, and it will of course continue to the finals games tomorrow. And with this match, the second semi-finals of the men's singles, we conclude our coverage for this penultimate day of the competition. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Tune in again tomorrow for the finals day on Monday from Paris.